You know your price point sets an expectation for your patients, and your experience is either going to fulfill that or destroy it. When those two align, you're going to build loyalty, and if they don't, you're going to find skepticism. I actually had a moment the other week that really drove that home for me, and it was here in my house. My washer broke, and I rent, so I had to go to my landlord, give him a call, and basically beg him for 2 weeks to call his guy, right? He has that one handyman that just does everything: AC, washers, floors, windows, whatever it is. No contractor with a business card, no company, just the guy. So Larry, the handyman, shows up, and I've had him at my house many times over the years. And he's pulling up in his same old beaten up van with no logo, no branding, no company, just the mountain of tools and Larry crammed in the back like a rolling workshop. And he walks in here with his jeans that are beaten up and worn out. And he kind of grumbles a little bit as he gets to work. And I'm thinking, here we go. Normally he's tinkering for a little bit. And I got to chat him up, right? But 2 seconds, that man has my washer diagnosed. I mean, he knew instantly. Well, it turns out that he used to be a head tech or consultant. He was a big wig for Sears back in the day. I mean, this guy knows his stuff. He's probably forgotten more about appliances than most techs know today. And yet here he is, showing up in a beaten up old van, charging $50 for a visit. $50 for 30 or 40 years of knowledge and experience. And it made me realize this guy isn't cheap because he lacks skill. He's cheap because he never invested in the experience that communicates his value. He has no website, no communication, no systems, no presentation. So even though he's operating at an expert level, he will always be seen as the cheap handyman. And the truth is, I see the same thing happen at the clinics all the time. I've worked with providers who are absolute experts in their field, in functional medicine, hormone therapy, gut health. They're brilliant, passionate, and capable of changing people's lives. But when you look at the way that the clinic operates, the experience just doesn't match the value of what they're delivering. And the patient calls in, the front desk sounds rushed, their follow-ups are inconsistent, and emails, if they're even sending any, looks like they're coming from 2009. There's no clear structure or tone to how the brand's communicating. So even though the care may be exceptional, the experience feels disconnected from the price. And when that happens, patients tend to hesitate. They start to question, not because they don't trust your medicine, but because they don't feel the value that you are asking them to pay for. Because people don't pay for outcomes. They're going to pay for how you make them feel along the way. And I'm not talking about just random luxury stuff or fluff. I am talking about intentionality. When your patient journey is thoughtful, and when every touch point communicates professionalism, empathy, consistency, well, then your price no longer feels expensive and it actually feels appropriate. That's the difference between the handyman who's charging $50 and the appliance repair company that is charging $250. Same skill, but it's a different experience. One is going to feel transactional, the other one trustworthy. So when you look at your practice, I want you to ask yourself, does your experience match your price? Because if it doesn't, the fix is usually not just lowering your price, but it's to elevate the experience, invest in communication, tighten up the follow-up process, make your systems reflect the level of care you are actually delivering. Because here's the thing, your patients don't know how to judge your protocols, your dosing, or your medical decisions, but they do know how your experience makes them feel. And that feeling determines whether they see your service as worth every penny or not worth anything at all. Your price point sets the expectation and the experience delivered fulfills it. When those two match up, that is where you're going to find effortless growth.